Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Welcome to Chair Yoga on this unseasonably cold April morning with snow here in the Berkshires. So today we're going to stretch the etceteras. Whatever the etceteras are for you, it could be low back, it could be hips, it could be the obliques, getting that nice sideways stretch or a little rotation. And you'll notice that as we practice chair yoga more and more, that even while we focus on one particular part of the body, let's call it the etc., there'll be other parts of the body, other etceteras that kick in, and you'll notice that they're all connected in some way. So as you sit towards the edge of the chair and find a balanced sit bone area, sit bones balanced left and right, forward and backward, and sitting up nice and tall, gently let the eyes close and feel the etceteras from the foot up. So even the feet right now have a certain type of engagement. Notice if the arches feel elevated or flat. And if you'd like to activate the feet a little more, bring them into the picture, lift the toes of the feet. Keep the balls of the feet grounded. Just lift the toes and feel how the feet come alive. And then notice if the feet feel parallel or not. And as the toes lift up, notice how the calf muscles become engaged in the process. So sitting here on the chair, we can activate the calf muscles simply by lifting the toes up or pushing down on the toes and lifting the heels up, feeling a different type of engagement in the calf muscle. Let the heels come down and then notice the knees. You might like to notice the knees with eyes open or closed, but just noticing if the knees are equally apart, or does one knee open outwards or close inwards? Getting the thighs nice and parallel. So from the hips down, feeling how much the legs are involved even as we sit on a chair. So the position of the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, and the feet all play a role, whether we're seated or standing. And then notice the hips themselves. If you lean to the right onto the right sit bone, like you're in a little boat that's tipped to the side from a little action. Notice as you sit on that right sit bone how there's a balance factor here. The body knows that it's unbalanced, so the muscles tighten on one side and lengthen on the other side. So we build core strength purposefully in the obliques of the body as we lean to the right. And we stretch gently the left side to compensate and to hold us stable in an unstable position. Notice how the feet feel in that unstable position. Inhale, gently come back to neutral, like the boat has balanced out again. And can you notice the remaining sensations from that lean to the right? And then leaning to the left, just to the amount that you feel your muscular action on the left side tightens, the right side relaxes, to hold you in a balanced position, even though you're unbalanced in your posture. Feel what it's like to breathe in this unbalanced posture. Can you continue to let the breathing move through the body, even though the muscles are working to hold you in this non-symmetrical position? Feel the strength of the core muscles helping to stabilize you as much as possible. Inhale, come up. So getting a sense now of the core of the body, from the navel to the knees, all the way through the hips, part of our postural alignment. And then bringing the right shoulder back, let the right hand slide back towards the hip flexor, as if you're turning to look over that right side of the body, and hold that position and notice once again what's happening in the body to hold you in this non-symmetrical posture. Notice the core rotators here. Notice the belly tightening, the low back holding you in that position, even the neck rotating towards that right side, and just holding a very moderate position here, about 50%, not overdoing it, but just feeling it. Feeling the left sit bone compared to the right sit bone, the left foot compared to the right foot. Did the knees come apart? Did they open out? Notice what it's like to breathe in this twist. Exhale, release, unwind, come back to neutral. And feel the rebound in the muscles, the rebound in the heartbeat, the rebound in the breathing from that twist to one side. Then exhale, slide the left hand back to the hip. Left shoulder comes back, let the head turn to the left. And once again, feel how the body reacts to this non-symmetrical position. Feel where the sit bone on the right side presses into the chair. The left sit bone floats a little more. There's a sense of breathing that changes as the belly tightens to hold the core, hold the upper body in this twist. So noticing how the body responds automatically, and what can you add non-automatically to help stabilize this non-symmetrical posture. Can you breathe a little more deeply, a little more slowly? Can you hold the musculature in the core of the body to stabilize the pelvis and the spine? Can you add a little bit of your own awareness to help the amazing automation of the body to respond? Exhale, release, unwind. Then coming into a little movement, grab the kneecaps and Start to rotate the spine around the pelvis. Start to bring a little aliveness through movement and breath. Noticing how the upper body feels as you do this. Shoulders, neck, head, low back. And can you use your awareness as you move through this action so that you can slow it down? Can you feel as you slow it down, you use the braking muscles, the muscles that stabilize you from injury? And then can you take your foot off the brake and feel letting go of those muscles that don't need to be restricted as you rotate? So there's this sense that your body is automatically doing this, but can you add a little more awareness to the process? And at some point find a turning the opposite direction, reverse the circling. And notice if it feels different to turn in the opposite direction. And as the head comes forward, notice how the legs respond, how they strengthen, engage. And as you come back up, the legs relax. So the lower body takes the load as you come forward. And the load comes back into the upper body as you sit up. Comes into the sit bones. And then come to neutral. Let the hands dangle down beside you and rock from side to side. And then bring the hands out in front of you. And bring the right hand underneath the left hand as if you're holding something between the hands. Right hand palm facing up, left hand palm facing down, palm to palm. And then start to move the hands up to the left and create a little infinity sign. And when you get up to the left on the left, flip the hands so the right hand is on top, and you finish the infinity sign over to the other side, to the top, and then flip the hands and create this flowing infinity sign with the hands. And as you do this, feel the upper body engage, feel the obliques, feel the core of the body engage to hold the weight of the arms. As you sweep and draw this infinity sign from side to side. If the arms get too tight, if the core gets too tight, you can rest and then come back at any time. Synchronize your breathing so you're not moving too quickly here, but you're starting to feel the work in the arms, the shoulders, the core of the body. Even the legs, as you lean down to the bottom of the infinity sign, you'll feel each leg engage depending on which side you're on. The next time you come to the middle, pause and then reverse direction. Reverse direction and feel what it's like to draw the infinity sign in the other direction. Let your eyes follow the hands so your head and neck are part of the movement of the shoulders and the arms. You can increase the size of your infinity sign or decrease it and feel the difference. Shoulders might be getting tired now. Can you keep it going for 3 more repetitions? 1, 2, And last one, 3. Come back to neutral and release the hands, rest the hands, palms face up. Close the eyes and notice as you sit here now, how does your posture feel? Do you feel the core work you just did, working on the core of the body, strengthening the core, helps hold you up a little more naturally? Shoulders back and down, and back of the head up. And then start to rock from side to side like you're in a little boat. Feel one sit bone and then the other. Let your ear come down towards your shoulder. Let the hands dangle. And as you rock to the left, let the right hand come up, touch the back of the head. And then repeat on the other side. So you feel this side to side motion, waking up the muscles of the body that stabilize you from tipping to the side. And watch the chin doesn't come down to the chest. Keep the back of the head pushing up against the hands so you feel that nice head posture. And then notice how the lower body responds as you tip to one side. Notice how it activates to stabilize you. So even though we're working the upper core body, the lower core body has to work to maintain that stability in the spine and the hips. Some of you might like to rainbow the hand over the head and create a little more work for the core of the body if that's what feels delicious for you today. Once again, getting new work into those shoulder joints, the core of the body getting stronger and stronger. And your proprioception awareness, your sense of where your body is in space for balance is growing. So that when you're walking and moving, you have this awareness from your chair yoga. Even though we're seated, that will translate into your walking. And then start to change this motion. Instead of lifting the hands up and down, start to rotate the arms to the left and the right, crossing over the midline of the body. Just moving into a fluid twist. Inhaling as you come to neutral. Exhaling as you twist. So not moving too quickly, just at the pace of your breathing. And you might find that those twists hold a little longer as you relax into this new movement. Once again, strengthening and stretching those muscles that stabilize the spine and stabilize your upper body to the legs through the hips. The next time you come to the right, pause and hold the twist. And to come to the other side, this time take the left hand out to the right side, palm down, and then lift it up and look up at the ceiling. And then bring it all the way over to the other side. Right hand follows. So the twist now becomes this uprising of the arms up into the air from side to side. A whole new way to twist. One arm and then the other, and the body finds itself on the other side. Noticing how that translates into the legs. Good. So feeling a lot of flow in our work today. The next time you come to neutral, pause and notice how the body might feel a little warmer, a little more fluid. The next time you inhale, reach the hands back, grab the back of the chair and lift up, look up, reach up, squeeze the shoulder blades. And then imagine there's this huge tree trunk in front of you. Wrap your arms around it. Bring the head down towards the chin and wrap your arms. You might not even be able to touch the fingers, but you feel the shoulder blades come apart. And then turn those two movements into a flow. Inhaling, reaching back, squeezing, lifting, filling the lungs. And then exhale, wrapping around that huge trunk. Elbows bend, shoulder blades apart, creating a circle with the arms, feeling that stretch. Moving between those two. Flexion and extension of the spine, feeling how the shoulder blades respond. Now, if you know the Ujjayi breath, the ocean sounding breath, you might like to layer that on. Feeling that calming sound wash through the movement, through the breath. And then exhale, release. And noticing how this affected the posture. In my experience, I feel a little more relaxed, a little less upright, but a little more relaxed in the shoulders. So each of us might have a different experience. And then inhale, pick up the right foot and then the left foot, like you're marching in place, feeling the legs get involved in the joy of movement. You might like to add a little kick out and stretch that leg before you bring it down, starting to feel the back of the legs. If that's too much on the core of the body to hold that leg up and out, you might support it by bringing the hands under the hamstring for the kick. If you want a little more fire, you could bring the arms up or out into different shapes, feeling the upper body engage, a little more of the core to hold you steady. So lots of choices here. Working and strengthening the legs, stabilizing the core muscles, so we're building core stability. Lots of choices. You can rest at any time and then join back in. You might start to feel a burn in the abdominals here. Ooh, good. 2 more on each side. 1 more. And then release, bring the hands back, sit towards the edge of the chair, and notice how your posture feels. So each time we complete a little activity, noticing how the postural alignment feels. So this one feels a little more of a blend of strength and relaxation. And then start to bring into the equation the hips moving from side to side. Once again, just allowing the flow. Right knee comes out, right knee back. Left knee out, left knee back. So starting to feel the hips join in on the action here. And then you might play with this a little bit. The next time the knee opens out to the right, straighten that leg, lift the toes back, feel the stretch in the back of that leg. And then slide your right hand down towards the shin and just feel that little lean, that little stretch in the back of the leg. Inhale, slide back up, bend that right knee, bring it back. Exhale, open the left. Stretch the left leg out, toes curled back, slide down towards that left foot. It doesn't have to be far, just a little movement makes a big difference. Bend that left knee and bring it back. So we're not looking for a great big stretch here, we're just feeling what happens when you stretch out a little bit and lean into that side. Just exploring that movement. And it might become more and more fluid. You might find you start to stretch a little closer towards that foot over time as your body gets used to this new muscle patterning. You see, in the beginning, when we're not used to this, the muscles will limit the range of motion. But as the muscles get used to it, that range of motion might grow because the muscles know what's happening. So I found a big range of motion change in that little exploration. And then come back to keeping the knees bent left and right without the stretch, but add resistance. So as the leg closes, resist, and as the other leg opens, resist. So you're resisting in two directions by pressing the hand against the thigh, making the thigh work harder. So a lot of hip openings here, oiling up the joint in the hip. Plenty of fluid, and once again, over time, you'll find. Now, if you want to add a little bit more core, don't let the foot land as it comes back. So the foot stays in the air with resistance for the whole journey out, and then back in, and then land and change. So now we add a little more core. For 3, 2, last one. Come back to the edge of the chair. Notice how your posture feels with all that core work and hip opening. So each time we come back to this reference of posture, we can feel the impact of the different movements on our posture. Coming into deeper hip stretches, rotate that right leg. Rotate the whole body towards the right. So both knees pointing to the right side of the chair. The left sit bone and the left leg is off the chair, the right sit bone and the right leg is up to the knee is on the chair. Extend the left leg back, holding the chair for stability. And start to feel that first stretch in the left hip flexor. Gentle movements, softening the knee, letting the weight come onto the top of the toes, and then pushing back through the back heel, straightening the leg, feeling the weight move into the ball of the foot. So we keep the heel lifted, but we soften the knee and push it back, just pumping and priming the knee joint, the ankle joint, the foot. Just working that area, always in the pain-free range of motion. And then take the left hand onto the left hip. The next time you press back, push out through that left heel, trying to straighten that left leg. And the left hand just pushes that left hip forward. So each end of the leg moving in opposite directions. Left heel pushes back, left hand pushes the left hip forward. So you feel even more sensation here. Continue to hold this for another 5 breaths, or if you like, you can add one arm up or both arms up. And bring the hands down, keep the leg extended, and lean forward over that front leg. Just lean into it. So the weight of your torso is pushing down into your arms, into your leg, all the way down to the heel bone. So we're adding stress to the heel bone and the ankle joint, building bone density through the pressure. If it's available to you, reach the left hand down to the ground or a block, right hand down to the ground or the block, and really feel that forward hinge. For advanced students, you can bring your hands behind your back and clasp the hands. Now lift the hands up over the head into Yoga Mudra. That right leg gets plenty of work here. Slowly come back in whichever position you're in. Hold the seat, relax the back leg. Slowly unwind to the front. Hello. There's a little bit of aliveness in that right leg. Notice how your posture is. And then we'll prepare for the other side. Rotate left hip. Rotate the whole torso to the left. So both knees are pointing to the left. Right sit bone is off the chair. Extend that right leg back. Heel lifted on the ball of the foot. And then stabilizing, holding the chair. Start to pump and prime that right knee, right ankle, right foot by softening the knee and then extending the knee. So you start to come into that stretch sensation in the right hip flexor. You feel the weight move to the tops of the toes and then back to the ball of the foot. Your right hand can stabilize the right hip so it remains facing forward. And allow yourself plenty of time to prime that leg. Just avoiding pain, so anything painful, just back off. You know that that's where you're not going to go. You stay in that pain-free range of motion. The next time you extend back, pause and hold. Add as much stretch sensation as you can comfortably tolerate. So the leg is at its edge. And that edge might grow if you stay there with a relaxation or an attitude of relaxation. But the leg stretches more and more into that relaxation. Option to lift one arm or both arms. And then coming into a little low back stretch here, you lean forward into that front leg. So we're releasing the low back, giving it a chance to stretch out. At the same time, pressing the weight of the body down into that left leg, strengthening the bone. And then to come into an even deeper stretch in that low back and a deeper or a heavier weighting on the leg. Sweep the hands behind the back, clasp the hands into Yoga Mudra, and now really lean into that left leg, lifting the arms, low back, it's a big stretch. Push back with that right heel. Exhale, gently release. Use the hands to pick you up, pushing them into the chair. Come up slowly. Gently unwind the body back to center. And then sit on the edge of the chair and notice your posture. So I feel like today's class is really using posture as a reference to what's happening after each pose. Each time I come back to posture, I feel something slightly different, whether it's a relaxation or a strength. And let's come into that low back a little deeper now by bringing a block between the feet. Doesn't have to be a block, it could be something like a stack of cushions, could be a bag, something you can lean into. Open the knees out a little wider, sumo squat. Rest the elbows against the thighs, level one with that low back, mid back relaxation. Relax into the elbows, head down. Notice how the low back feels. Exhale, turn the head to the left. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, the head to the right. Inhale, neutral, look straight down to the block. Drop your hands onto the block, letting the weight of the torso press down into the block through the hands. Adjust your feet and legs so that you feel stable and comfortable on the chair. Drop the chin towards the chest, squeezing the chin into the chest. And then lift the chin away from the chest, lift the gaze, looking up, chin up. Feel the back of the neck come into a crunch and the throat stretches out. Try that again, drop the chin, squeeze the chin towards the chest, let the shoulders come forward, press down into the blocks. Feel that in the low back, mid back. Inhale, lift the gaze, lift the chin. Feel the shoulders come back, down the spine. It's like you're coming into a little cat and cow movement. And then, if you like, you can lower the block to the next level down, or you can bring your hands all the way down to the ground. Adjust for the new positions, feet, knees. And this time, moving the head in all four directions. Start by dropping the chin to the chest, exhale. Inhale, lift the gaze, stretch the throat, crunch the back of the neck. Exhale the head to neutral. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, turn the head to the left. Inhale, neutral. Exhale the head to the right. A few breaths here. Now, if your low back is enjoying this stretch, I'm going to suggest you move the block and grab your opposite elbows so you feel the weight of the torso pull the low back even deeper down. Hold on to the elbows in a crossed arm position and let the head move fluidly, drawing an infinity sign with the nose onto the floor. And then reverse direction. If you need to relieve the low back from this deep stretch, come back to the block. Keep moving the nose, this time shifting it to the figure 8. So the vertical axis is predominant rather than the horizontal axis. Reverse direction. I can really feel this deep stretch in the low back, so I'm going to stop, hands underneath, support on the block or the floor. Bring one elbow up to the thigh and then the other. And just rest in this thinker's position. Letting the deep stretch in the low back and the hips take its time to rebound. And then gently walk the hands back along the thighs and lean back into the chair for a moment. Bring the hands behind the head and rest the back of the head. Lift the chin and really support the back of the head so it's not coming into a crunch, but the arms are supporting it. And the low back is starting to rebound from that deep stretch. Start to walk the feet out in front of you, lift the toes and come onto the heels of the feet. The sit bones slide towards the front of the chair. So you're in this reclined position. As the toes curl back and you push the heels further out, the calf muscles release their tension. Exhale, release. Bring the hands down to support you as you regain your posture on the edge of the chair. Notice how the posture feels after all that activity. Coming to a little quadricep stretch. We've stretched the back of the legs. You might need a strap here for this, so have a strap handy if you have one handy, or you could use a little dishcloth towel, not a dishcloth, but a tea towel or a thing. And slide to the right of your seat, so hold, let's have the strap over the thighs for now. So you're sliding to the right side of the seat, so your right sit bone is just off the chair, left sit bone is still on, and you might like to grab the left side of the chair with your left hand. Now for the quadricep stretch, you're going to pick up that right leg and grab the ankle. Now if you can't grab the ankle, I'm going to recommend you wrap the strap around the ankle and just hold the ankle via the strap. So you're just bringing that knee down towards the floor, holding the strap, or you're holding the ankle and just letting your knee slowly drop towards the floor. And the body will tend to lean to the left to compensate. You could slowly bring the body towards a central state and just notice there might be a fear that the chair will tip. But just notice as you gradually come to a straighter position how that quadricep feels. And then gently release that leg or the strap. Come back to neutral. Close the eyes and feel the contrast between the right side of the body and the left side. Let's see how we go on the other side. So start sliding to the left side of the chair until you feel that left sit bone just starting to come off the chair. It doesn't even have to completely come off. Then you can strap the ankle with your strap and hold the strap. I'll turn sideways so it makes more sense to you. So it could be, so I've come to the left of the chair. I've got the strap holding the ankle joint. My other hand is holding the other side of the chair. And some people will be able to grab the ankle joint or the toes. And you'll notice that my knee, the goal of my left knee is to just keep coming down towards the ground. And that's going to cause my shoulders to come back, a little back bend, and then draw the head back. And just giving time for the quadricep to release. The quadricep really does work a lot through the day. It gets very tight. Couple more breaths here and then release. Gently release. Come back to stability on the edge of the chair. Notice your posture. So your posture is a physical reference point to how balanced you are in the body, how stable, how relaxed you are in the body. And we're trying to find that balance between relaxation and stability. If we're more towards the stability side of the equation, we tend to be rigid and tense. If we're too far into the relaxation state, we tend to be slovenly and slumpy. And both those extremes over long periods of time have consequences. And they say our mind reflects our body and our body reflects our mind. So we might find ourselves, if we're too stiff, the mind starts to stiffen up. Our thinking might become a little rigid. And if we're too relaxed, our mind might be all over the place, unfocused, unable to see things through. So to end our practice, bring the right hand up to the face and take the tip of the right thumb against the right nostril very gently, breathing in and out of the left nostril. So in yoga, the left nostril is considered the cooling nostril. A way to cool the body down. Cooling the emotions. After the next inhale, switch. Block the left nostril with the tip of the ring finger. Breathing in and out of the right nostril. Just noticing how each nostril, how much it's open or closed. The right nostril, the warming nostril. And then start to change side to side after each inhale. Inhale right. Switch back to the thumb, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. If that right arm gets tired, you can cross the left arm underneath the chest and support that right elbow. Or you can change arms. So alternate nostril breathing is a way to balance the emotions, cool and warm. To balance the mind, agitated and lethargic. Busy and spacious. Bringing our mind, body into balance to join the rest of our yoga today. Letting the shoulders relax. Trusting that the core of the body that we've worked so hard to strengthen and stretch can hold you up in good posture. The next time you exhale through the left nostril, Release the breath technique. Come back to your natural breath. Notice the posture. Notice the physical posture. Notice the mental, emotional posture. As you bring your hands together in prayer position at the chest, let the head bow in gratitude for our practice today. Namaste. Thank you very much for your practice. I'll turn the recording off.